Yeah, for me, I think honestly, Jesus, he died for all, but he died for the one. And God's a God that leaves the 99 and runs after the one. And so people like our Nepali friend or Donna are worth it. Jesus's blood on the cross covers their sins and covers their life. Um, and Jesus wants them to hear the gospel. Jesus wants them to have a chance to encounter him and meet with him and have a relationship with him too. And so it's worth it, whatever it takes, right? Developing multiple videos, learning a sign language, acting out silly things, to be able to share the gospel with people that have never heard of Jesus. And so I think if you could take away one thing, whoever's in front of you or, that person that doesn't have sign language or doesn't been educated or whatever, they're worth it. And whatever you have to do to bring the gospel to them, do it.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
So for someone who's watching this and is like, I have to do something. Where do I start?
Yes.
Are those resources available yet? Like, where do I even begin?
Yeah.
What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, I would definitely say the first thing that you, like, if you're like, oh, something's moving in my heart right now, go get to know deaf people. They're amazing. They're awesome. It is a beautiful community and a beautiful culture to learn about. And the best way is to go and meet deaf people. And so if you're like, where do I meet deaf people? You could find out if there is a deaf church in your area. And Deaf Missions has a website called Church Where that we'll put it up in the description. But that will be there so you could figure out where there are deaf people in your area that you can go find and start learning and hang out with.
Yes. And then, of course, there's like these tools that we've been talking about with the VV gospel videos. Multiple versions are going to be coming out, and that will be soon. But yeah, so stay tuned. Anyone who's like, ooh, I really want that. It is coming out. But in the meantime, there is something really unique that came out this year. You got to see it, right?
Yes.
Yes, we both. That's actually
amazing.
Where I first got to meet you this year. But we got to be a part of a premiere for the Jesus film made by Deaf Missions.
Yep.
And what did you think about that?
Yeah. So this is a Jesus film, all in sign language, all in American Sign Language with deaf actors, deaf producers. I mean, it just was amazing.
And that was the first of its kind, right?
Yes. I mean, there's been, that big of a production, Jesus film in sign language, first of its kind. We had our deaf team that came, and one of our deaf team, who is actually the VV artist for our version, Caleb Resch, he said that for the first time, he was in a movie instead of outside because he has been reading captions, right, for his whole life. And he felt for the first time he was in a movie. And one of our other deaf team members saw it and said, the stories that I've been reading came to life for the first time.
Wow.
And then another one said, wow, it was so powerful to see Jesus in my heart language, communicate the things that I've known in the Bible, but it was just so much more special. And so, that came out. It was amazing. We all loved it. You have to go see it. I mean,
So that is coming out. And so that even could be like if there's someone in your community who's deaf and you don't speak sign language yet, that could be just like a really good way for someone to be like, hey, let's watch this film together. My dad and I, we're both hearing, we're learning sign language, but there's subtitles at the bottom for if you don't know American Sign Language. Yep. So it can be like hearing and deaf people watching it together.
Absolutely.
Pulling families together. And my dad and I watched it and we just cried. We were like, this is so impactful. So that the information for that will also be in the description. So that's something that that someone can watch right away. So
yeah, awesome.